Oh, hey, hey. Can you hear me? Can you hear Mina? No.
Oh, I was just saying, I thought my sound wasn't working and it was working. So now it is working and now you all can hear me. Hi, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Jacqueline.
Good morning. And Chelsea, we can see you. So you're good. So Chelsea asked if I link StreamYard and Facebook together. Do I have to do it every time? You do not, because I can see your beautiful name.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mina and team. Welcome to Bosses and the Blend.
Good morning. Good morning. We better get on Instagram. I feel like I'm on the
All
ball today, except for chaos ensued this morning, as per usual.
right.
My
Well,
refrigerator
let's save
doesn't work.
that. Oh, well, I
Instagram
guess you don't
doesn't
have to see
care.
it for Instagram. They see the
Yeah.
good stuff over there. Facebook sees the
It's
real
not,
stuff.
yeah, that's the highlight reel over there. And so I had to, luckily it's really cold out here. So all my refrigerator stuff is in the snow right now, but on the stairwell of the sunroom. So it's like, it'll be fine. There won't be animals that get to it or whatever. But I was like, oh, well, I have an outside refrigerator.
I think it's genius. So smart. Way to be a genius. That's how they used to do it in the olden
Yeah.
days.
That's why they call it the icebox.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yes. I'm ready for Instagram. So I will go live. You're good?
Okay. Mhm. Okay.
Good morning, Instagram. It's another morning of Bosses in the Blend. I think one of these days I should have you go live first, Mina, because that might
Good morning,
trip people
Instagram.
out
It's
to see your
another
face
morning
first.
of Bosses in the Blend. I
Oh,
think
there's
why
music. I
should
can
have
hear
you go
myself.
live first, Mina, because that might Okay, there we go. My headphones weren't plugged in all the way.
I could hear myself in Mina's earbuds on Facebook. Hey, Jennifer, I see you live on Instagram. Hey, Lisa, Ilsa, hello, hello. So it's another morning of Bosses on the Blend. Mina's going to join us in just a second. It's amazing how many people have quickly asked to join us on video over here. Kind of crazy. Not just you. There's more people. Not freaky at all. Just kidding. So I'm bringing Mina up. And then as you're following, hi, everyone.
Hey, okay. And I don't know if you all noticed Instagram. Hey, Instagram. Hi, everybody. I figured out my setup here. So this is a different stand that I lost the minute I purchased it, and I found it. And now I have one right here and one right here instead of duct tape on the side. So here we are making it happen. Yeah. Hi, Terry Ann. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Chelsea. Oh, I don't know. I only have earbuds in on this side. I can't hear Jacqueline. Oh, which one is connected to the? Oh, there you go. There you go. I can hear you.
Oh my goodness. We were so close to doing this right.
No, you're good. You're good. You're fine. Very professional sound on both ends.
Thank you, ma'am. Mina does our sound. It's crazy.
Fixed. Okay, thank you, Rachel.
I don't even know who or how I muted myself, but sure. All right. Wow. Facebook and Instagram, you're winning right now. You're both tied with the amount of viewers on both platforms. Hello, my friends. Hey, Minneapolis is here. Pure Evergreen can hear us. Great. All right. So really exciting news. How many of you are in the Product Bosses Guide to Your Best Year Yet workshop series? How many of you had registered for that free workshop series? Tomorrow is our final one of the 3-part series over the last 3 weeks. Someone said out again, can't hear you. But you can hear me, right?
Oh, I don't know. I only wear the Instagram ones.
Okay, don't worry. The team's giving me a thumbs up. Okay. Yes, a lot of people are in it.
Yeah, so tomorrow's workshop is the best one. We get the most attendance, the most popular one, and it is the one not to miss. So make sure that if you haven't been able to attend live, that that's the one that you try to attend live is tomorrow's, because we talk a lot about something super super important. And if you have the workbook, it's this is spoiler alert. We talk about diversification in a way that feels really really easy and amazing and
What is
encouraging.
diversification?
So diversification is basically you creating multiple streams of income or revenue for yourself. You're diversifying how you do that. And that's usually how people that's the speak of it when we talk about it in the business sense, right? And or even in normal life sense, people diversify even in if they're the average human that's not an entrepreneur, they are maybe they have a retirement fund or they have real estate or they have bonds and stocks or whatever it is. Those are types of diversification that people originally had talked about in the real world, I guess. The way that we talk about it is in a whole different way, and it feels very easy and helpful to our product bosses. So that's why I say come tomorrow to tomorrow's workshop, and make sure you watch that replay because it is going to be so awesome.
Yeah. So the workshop link for our Facebook users, it's the productboss.com/best. So it's the productboss.com/best. And someone said, can I get their replay of the last 2 weeks?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. So when you sign up, you get it. Now there is a limited time on watching those replays. So if and when you join, you will have the opportunity to upgrade your experience to our VIP experience, where you can get access to Q&A sessions with Mina and I, because the only places we're taking questions is in our VIP experience, which every day that we go live. So for example, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, we go live again and we take your questions and we answer. We're all in a Zoom call together. And you also get extended access to the replays. So if you're back a few weeks and you want to have longer access to the replays of the workshops, I would encourage you to join us inside of the VIP experience as well. Yeah, Lovey Designs is like VIP all the way. We have a bunch of people over here. So that's where you get it all. So opt in for that. Now, here's the other exciting news. So, like Mina said, tomorrow is going to be awesome. The next week, so when you join us inside of our free workshop challenge, next week is our implementation week. So it's a week off from trainings, but there's so much happening inside of the Facebook group. It's a pop-up Facebook group for the workshops and eventually our bestseller secrets challenge. So come join and then get your booties inside of the Facebook group. And here's another reason why. Next week, we're doing 5 days of giveaways. So we're giving away an iPad, right? An espresso machine, a lighting package. Someone's going to get multi-stream machine, which is our signature program. They're going to win that. There's one more thing I'm missing. Another good one.
I can't remember, but we added one. I don't know if you know that.
I just said the word iPad and
well,
espresso.
We added AirPods.
AirPods?
So, and then you're missing one from the 5 days. It's 5 days and an additional one.
Jennifer's giving us a wrinkled, worried face that we're doing. iPad, lighting kit,
Dymo printer. So that is optional. Dymo printer for those that you love. Those of you that love Rollo printer, you can absolutely opt for that one. But you will be getting a professional printer, my friends, and that will be really, really exciting as well.
Should we do an additional giveaway for the VIP group?
We'll think
let's give them some. Let's do something for everybody that joins the VIP experience. I think we should do a giveaway for them as well.
Have to convince me, everybody, by joining and requesting it.
Could just be another AirPod.
Like every time we're like, more giveaways, and we just like,
you get a car and you get a car. No, we're not giving away cars. But so there's a few things that we're gonna do a whole week of giveaways. So you need to get into the Facebook group for that. And then the other exciting thing, obviously, and then we're doing you're gonna hear stories. So you're gonna hear small business stories of what do we call them? Spotlights?
Success stories, student stories. Yeah, student stories. So
all of the above.
Yeah, prepare to be lit. Is that what the kids say these days, right? Because you are going to get tons of chances to win. You're going to get inspired by a bunch of student stories. Rachel Dunn, shout out, being one of the main ones that
Who's here?
yeah, who's here. And also it's an update one, which is really fun. And then
We have Christina Guy of the Hotel Sheet, who
uh-huh.
just had 2 back-to-back 6-figure months.
Two,
From
four.
4.
You're chopping off 2 of
I'm
those.
thinking about the other student we have that had 2 back-to-back $500,000 months. So
Yeah.
these are multi-stream machine students. So it's super.
Yeah.
There's some amazing stories to share.
Yeah, and so it'll be really fun because during that time when we are not going live for a workshop, it'll be off of workshops. You will have plenty to watch, plenty to be excited about, and it all happens in the Facebook group.
We also have Gina Rose on a Fan Sparkle, and then also Brooke. Everyone loves Brooke of Be Happy.
Yes.
So, and it'll be really cool to hear Brooke's updates as well. So, but then the next part of all of this is on February 13th, 11th, 12th, one of the days, the Monday of 13th, the Monday of Valentine's Day. Really, Jennifer, you should just be up with us, correcting everything we're saying. Like, no.
So yesterday she had to come on because I was showing this notepad that was part of the swag, and she had to put it in front of her face to show it.
Can I bring you up really fast to just wave hi?
And I was like, well, thank you, Vanna. You know,
Hi!
Vanna White. Yeah, so Jennifer,
Hi!
whenever we're shouting at somebody underneath us, it's literally Jennifer with 8 arms making all the magic happen.
No, she's like this. No, or like the 13th.
And yesterday when she had the notepad in front of her face, I was like, well, thank you very much, Vanna. And I was like, do you even know what I'm talking about? It's a Vanna White reference, but she's so, you know, she's
I'm going to show Instagram what it looks like below us. There's people down there telling us what to do. So, okay. I'm getting to my point here. Bestseller Secrets Challenge is coming. It starts on the Monday of Valentine's Day. Oh my God, I just dropped my coffee.
Yeah, Valentine's Day, Galentine's Day. It is going to be so much fun.
Valentine's Day. We should find a new word for it. Somebody come up with a name for that week if we're going to be loving on each other as business owners. Mm-hmm. So that kicks off on the Monday. It's a free 5-day challenge. Anyone that signed up for the workshops, you already have access to that. You're already signed up. You don't have to do another thing. If you're signed up for the VIP, you also get VIP experience within the challenge. So you keep getting access to us with like these live Q&As on Zoom. So that's going to be amazing. And it's 5 days. And that is truly where there's going to be some really, we've been working with you on these different concepts and mindset and like opening up your minds. Now, the action and the strategy is going to happen within the Bestseller Secrets Challenge. It is one of our best challenges of the entire year. And you are going to walk away like, people have made money during that week. Like they're like, I implemented what you said. I did it. And holy moly.
I made $3,000, you know, and it's been so much fun. It's really going to reinforce all the things that we've been talking about, which is so exciting within those 5 days. And on top of it, it's just going to, I don't know, give you this surge of energy and motion in your business that you've been wanting. So all our challenges are really just, you know, our community is just so amazing, and they're just so much fun. It's where action takers truly prove they're money makers.
Action takers are money makers.
Yeah. So Matt had said Boston Times Day. Or Boston Times Week. I love it.
Yes.
We need to literally put that on a graphic.
My grandma's calling. I got
your grandma's calling. Hold on. Okay.
We're going to hear you out of. Hold on. She messed up where I'm hearing people out of.
Oh,
Grandma.
Is this one working? Okay. There, it works. It works.
Can you hear me on Instagram?
I can hear you on Instagram. I'm pretty sure I can hear you on Facebook. I only put one set of earbuds in because of it being too crazy in my brain.
Okay, hold on. I got it. All right, got it. Okay, back. I'm back.
This is how I do mic check, you guys. Okay. I should put do not disturb as well. I don't know. Normally it would just do it for me, but okay. All right. So anything else we need to go over today? And before we get started on our bosses in the blend.
Hold on. Grandma messed up my iPhone. Hold on. How do I get back on my AirPods?
Is this sound?
Okay.
I've been working, by the way, Instagram. I've been more conscious about my headphones for all of you, that my hair doesn't brush it, and that, you know, how I like to speak with my hands. And so, hopefully you're not getting that, you know, scruffy sound that can happen.
Yeah, the team has just complimented you and said the cords look great.
Well, this is a different set of headphones, and I'm not loving it, I gotta say, because it's flat, so it doesn't twist up as much, but they don't stay in my ears that well. You know, this is
We're
for like,
gonna we're gonna need to get the real
yeah,
headphones that like real podcasters have.
yeah. I mean, I can go get my kitten ones that my kids have, you
Do
know?
they look like kittens?
Yeah, they do.
Okay. All right. I put it on Do Not Disturb. Grandma cannot mess up my AirPods again. I got it all working. Okay, we're back. Okay. So Mina, today, well, one Boston Day, Jennifer, go. Jennifer's in charge
Yes.
of content and
Boston
all your
Times
things.
Week, Boston Times Day. Yeah, so much fun. We should do a giveaway then, because that'll be
But
the
that's
14th, will be Tuesday. We could give away tacos for Taco Tuesday.
oh my God.
Okay, let's pull it back a little
Nothing
bit. We'll see
says
what happens.
Boston Day like tacos.
It's true. It's true.
Taco Tuesday, Valentine's Day. We marry them together. Are you doing anything for Valentine's Day with your spouse?
I am not. Usually we do
Neither
stuff,
am
but
I.
this year we decided to do we usually will cook and I'll bake with the kids. It's usually around like the kids and stuff like that. But this year we're doing a Galentine's Day with my sister.
Oh,
She's had
you're just
just like
leaving
a
him at home with the kids?
yeah, I haven't even told him. No, I'm taking my kids. Actually, I'm taking the oldest one. Actually, this is not set in stone, so
You
I'm not
should do a
sure.
daddy. You should have him do a daddy daughter with Layla.
Yeah, yeah, with Layla. Yeah.
That'd be
And
cute.
so we were going to do a Galentine's Day with my youngest sister. And so I think that to be seen what's going to happen, but usually I don't like to do anything. I don't love the crowds of Valentine's Day.
I
So
hate
that's why
paying extra
usually
for the prefix menu. Like, let's
yeah.
just what is it? Let's just go get tacos. We're it's my husband's birthday next week, so there's like all this like birthday stuff. And Valentine's Day kind of like I don't buy into it as much. It's kind of like other days should feel that way. So I probably won't be doing anything. Maybe I'll do something with my kids. They might like it.
Oh, by the way, everybody, guess what I'm doing this weekend?
What are you doing?
I am doing well, this is with my daughters and my youngest sister, who I was just talking about. So she's 11 years younger than me. And then Jimmy, my cousin's daughter. So my niece, Macy. So she's in between my two girls. We're doing a visioning day and a face mask day. So we're going to do a vision board. We're creating vision boards. I bought a bunch of kits on Amazon, saved up my direct mail catalogs and all that stuff, and we're going to do vision boards, and I bought all the stuff, and we'll do that on this Saturday. So you know, that's something I'm looking forward to for this coming week too.
Did you did you ever see I think that's awesome. And then side note, did you ever see the what was it called? Old School with like Will Ferrell that where they're like in college, like they're older and they go to college.
Oh yeah, he does streaking through the quad.
It goes through the quad, that one.
Yes.
Okay. So now that we're in our 40s, this conversation reminds me of that, where it's like, so what are you doing this Saturday? It's like, well, we're gonna get up, we're gonna go to Home Depot, maybe a
Yeah.
little Bed Bath and Beyond. It's gonna be a great Saturday.
Yeah. I bought face masks from Ulta already, avocado, coconut, you know.
That's what I'm like. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds super fun. Remember when our weekends were like doing other things?
I know, going to the club, you know.
And now I can't even believe I used to go out at like 11 o'clock at night. Like, how did I even have the energy?
I don't
It's
know.
bonkers.
I have no idea.
Let's
Last
ask
time
the
when
kids that are watching. Jennifer, how do
um
you go out that late?
I don't think that's generation clubs the way that we used to, you know, like with the germs and the sweat. I just think, how did I
I
ever,
don't know
you
that
know?
kids care. What do you mean generations? When do they care
Truly,
about germs and
truly
sweat?
a grandma.
Who here has 20-something-year-olds and their kids still go out? I don't think kids go out these days.
Too many germs in the club.
You're just home on TikTok.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. It's so funny. Um, yeah, we're dating ourselves this day. But
Mhm.
yeah, what am I doing this weekend? I'm throwing my son a birthday party. We're having a video game truck. He's turning
Oh,
10.
fun.
Um, I and then he has another birthday party on Saturday. There was like a whole conflict. There were 3 birthday parties on Saturday. So I had to like change his birthday. Real real like, cutthroat over here. Am I doing anything else that's fun? I think it's another birthday weekend / we're here and helping everyone. So yeah, we're just living our lives over here.
We're
Okay,
blending it up basically.
we're trying. I mean, I think
Yeah.
we're doing a pretty good job. Last night I actually went to dinner with a friend, which is also
I
like holy
know. I
moly.
When I got a Voxer at midnight, I was like, "Oh my god, it's an emergency." I listened to it. It's you blathering on about something, and I was like, "Good
I'm
grief,
just
I
like
gotta go to sleep."
I was like, I'm out with a friend and I feel so happy.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, I'll return this Voxer in the morning. It was like midnight over here.
Is Instagram having bad sound? Someone said they're moving to Facebook. It's fine.
No,
Yeah.
no. Yeah,
This maybe someone else's connection is a little bit
yeah,
off.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
so I went
Instagram
out
has been fighting us big time.
running literally
So,
everybody.
yeah.
Um, so I
Yeah.
ended up
Yes,
going.
everybody.
This is the reason I messaged Mina because Mina's like kind of woo. None of you know this, but she's like, well, the stars are aligned and the moon
Yeah.
is out and
I don't
Saturn's in
I don't know if I
retrograde.
call myself, well, I kind of do. I believe in miracles and magic. That's
You
what it comes down to,
I
you
like
know.
that. I believe in
Yeah.
miracles and magic.
Yeah.
Write that down, Jennifer. That's a good one. We have to get Mina a mug. Paris. There's also Paris who's here live, and we don't call her out. So maybe we should start calling Paris out a little.
Yeah.
Paris, write that down. But anyways, I went to like and I know we have crystal people in my in our groups, so just to let you know, but I went to a small business last night and bought a whole bunch of stones. I got this was a really cool, when we talk about like products and packaging and all this, I thought this was really cool. So I bought a bunch of like individual stones for different things that had different cards about it. Like this
Uh-huh.
one is blue lace agate, and it's a calming stone that provides a sense of peace and tranquility and
And
powerful
you
throat
hold it,
healer.
right? To ground
Yeah,
yourself?
and I found ones that, like, I could hold in my hand that I felt, right? But this was cool because not only did I buy a bunch of individual stones, but, there was a zodiac. They had little zodiac bags. These were $14. Yes, I'm a Gemini. And inside were a bunch of just little stones that they could sell individually. And it says, Geminis are full of energy and enthusiasm for life, but need grounding and stabilizing, which is the tiger eye, love, compassion, and happiness, which is the rose quartz, and emotional balance, citrine. I ended up buying one for everybody in my family. So
Oh, nice.
they sold a lot of money to me, 14 bucks each, right? Of these little this is a bundle, and this is what we're going to teach about in the bestseller secrets challenge about bundling your bestsellers. And
Mhm.
so maybe their bestsellers are small stones, like maybe it's not the crystal, the pyramids or the other shapes, because those tend to be more expensive. So people are like, well, what if my bestseller is rose quartz? It may not be that. It may be smaller stones. And
Yeah.
so imagine bundling it. And I mean, this costs them nothing. And then selling something that I ended up buying 2 Aquarius, a Leo, and a Gemini. And then I
Mhm.
talked to my kids through it. So I thought that was really cool. They made a lot more money off of me than I was expecting to spend. So
Tale as old as time. So also, by the way, app referral. I've been using this app. It's called CoStar. You put in your birthday and everything, and the time of your birth, and it tells you your kind of your horoscope for the day, but much more than that, based off of, it's not like a general horoscope based off your month. You know how we used to read about those, and we'd have those in magazines and newspapers, if you are all wondering. And It's really nice because it shows you like the things that you need to be working on in that day. So, for example, like yesterday, mine was like, you're rather emotional today, blah, 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 and it just kind of helps you. And yeah, it's based on your birth chart. That's right. So, I really like that because it's very minimalist looking. And I say that because there's a bunch of brands, a bunch of, just like there's a bunch of apps out there, and every app is slightly different in the way that it connects with you. This one is completely black and white. There's no color to it. It is really minimalist looking. It is all like, imagine reading like a newspaper. It kind of has an editorial look to it, or reading a magazine, no color. And I say that because there's a certain aesthetic to it that draws people in. So for all of you that are like, ooh, this is, this is for people that are woo or whatever, but your customer might not be that complete umbrella. It's the one
Mhm.
that is drawn to that aesthetic. It's the one that's drawn to your aesthetic. So there's a customer out there for every single one of you, just like there's,
Mhm.
different apps out there that will connect with each one of you that you're like, ooh, this is great. Or, you know what, this doesn't really fit me, and that's okay. I'm going to go find another one that fits me. So just a reminder about that. It's okay that you're not for everybody. You're supposed to be not for everybody.
I think that's such and this is leading us into some teaching. So everyone
Yeah.
got here that was like, "Are we gonna talk about anything of strategy?"
S- Slipping it in.
But this is a really good conversation because and bringing up this part, this is at like an outdoor shopping mall that's like a walkable thing in LA, and, I have been in this store countless times, like, every
Hmm.
time, if I walk to that side, I'll walk in, I'll peruse, or I'll pass by it, and I've never bought from them before. So I've been aware of them because it's foot traffic and it's physical, like seeing them. And last night, actually, this entire mall shuts down at like 7 o'clock, and there were two stores open: Sur la Tab,
Uh-huh.
the the French cooking like store, and then this crystal store. So when I was walking around after dinner, those two were open. We went into both and we actually bought something in both stores. So one, they were open later and they were like there for people who were perusing. Second part is like I walked in, I was just gonna look, I wasn't gonna buy anything. And then I started adding things to like I started holding things and I got a basket, I started putting things in. I spent like $300. I was bonkers. I bought like an $80
Hmm.
tower thing. So that's also to show you, and this is, I think, for all of you to realize, like, some of us do a lot on Instagram and social media, TikTok, like send emails. There's all these places we show up all the time, and we're like, why is this not working? Why are people not buying? But think about it in the idea of like foot traffic and the fact that as long as their presence is there, the doors are open to shop, that eventually a customer at the right time, I don't have crystals all over my house, like any of that, but for whatever reason this year, this day, this time, I decided I was going to like take the leap and buy from them. And so it's
Uh-huh.
that presence. So you showing up online, whether or not it converts immediately, is showing up. When we talk to you about sending emails, and so how many of you send emails and how many of you don't? Let's just
Mm.
be honest here, right? People who are like, I don't want to bother people. I don't want to be in their inbox. I don't want to spam them. I don't want to do whatever. Like people get really sensitive about their inboxes. This maybe we could have had this conversation 10 years ago, but literally this is the way of business now is email.
Yeah.
So people showing up in your inbox, it's just like a billboard that's like, hey, remember me, I'm here. They don't have to open it.
Yeah,
They
it's
don't
a
have to
touch point.
unsubscribe.
It's a
Yeah.
reminder that you exist, and on top of it, just imagine, we used to say 7 touch points back in the day for marketing. Now it's much more than that because of social media being so you know, so like micro being so micro touching, like micro content. Basically you could have 3 seconds or whatever before you had a little bit more than that. Like even when you watch a reel or watch a TikTok, you're chipping away and you're kind of reaching out to see if that customer is right for you at that right time. For example, when you start to email, they start to see that you exist, they remind you that exist. But just remember, like a lot of us think that if I'm emailing that customer, it doesn't have anything going on in their life, or they're just like, notice that you've emailed them, you know 3 times that week, and the thing is they don't notice. So I want to give this example of Jacqueline. She's living her life, right? She's a customer, and she might see the email, she might hear about CoStar app from me. This is called sphere of influence, right? Having the conversation. So she's just living her life. She's not sitting there at the email inbox being like, that's email number 2 from this Crystal's place, you know? So she's getting influence and touch out there in this world of so much content and distraction and everything. And then all of a sudden, the stars align. She's out to dinner, and she's like, "Ooh, I have seen this in my email. I have, talked with Mina about, all these things." Because when I first started talking to Jacqueline about horoscope and stuff, and my sister is the one who's really into it. And though we are very spiritual, she was the one who gave me information on birth chart and things like that. And also Jacqueline and I are more open to it, more aware of it, because we're working on self-awareness and self-growth. So we've been really in that zone. Just like when you're going to buy a car, all of a sudden you see that car out in the world, because your brain is starting to register it as like, ooh, now I'm starting to see it. Same with, oh, this crystals business exists. It's in my brain. Then when you start to get into it, it's like, ooh, these conversations happen, starts popping up. Then you end up spending $300 all of a sudden when you're out to dinner because it was the right time, that you're just like, hey, you know what? I want to get stuff for my family members. And Jacqueline maybe 3 months ago would have been like, no, absolutely not, you know?
Yeah. I've
So
gone in there many a time and never, I'm like, meh. But, like, and also what's interesting is I also have an app. It's called the Waking Up app, and actually I have free 30 days. They don't actually take a credit card, which I think is so cool. Like, they're an app that you could try meditation, and they don't even ask you for a credit card for your trial. It just tells you it ends, and then you can choose to sign up. That was really interesting. And so I've been meditating, and which, again, I told Mina last time, I'm journaling and meditating. Like, who am I? But it was just the right time. So many people forever have told you to do these things. Then I decided to ask my kids if they wanted to do it. And for some reason, they're open and receptive to it. And I don't force them to sit there and like hold it. Like if they're moving around, but they're listening to the app. And last night I wasn't there because I was busy buying crystals and out to dinner. And my husband told me that they actually asked to meditate before bed. And I was like, who are these humans? Like, what are we, like a perfect Instagram family that like shows you the pictures of us all meditating together? Because that's not what it really looks like, right?
next
And
minute screaming.
oh my God, yelling at them to go to bed. But yeah, but Willa's been having trouble sleeping.
Yeah.
And so, and then I was talking to someone and they were like, oh, it's a full moon and maybe that has to do with their energy. And usually I'm like, Matt, but then I'm starting to just slow down a little and try and pay attention more to like energies and stuff like that. I know, again, it sounds so weird with me saying it, but it's just where I am. Like, this is my 42nd year on the planet. Like, this is just where
42nd
I
year.
am today.
And it took me till 40 something years old to realize that menstrual cycle went by the moon.
It
So
does?
yeah, because it's the 28 days or whatever that a
Oh, you
full
mean like the
moon.
cycle of a moon, but we're all on different cycles though, right?
Yeah, that's
Or do we all
that's
get a
true.
who's getting it
Um,
next week?
but
Anyone? Is that the
I
moon?
think it does. It does. Okay, so I am right in that. So the thing is the cycle happening, and your mood will shift accordingly to whatever the cycle is. Samantha's like, mine's on Saturn.
Cheers,
Everybody's
like,
on
nope.
Saturn. So,
Bosses and the blend.
so I'm not exactly sure how they're linked, but they are linked. It took me forever to be like, oh my gosh, that makes sense that the cycle is the cycle of the moon. Anyways, I'm not for sure. Obviously, I should not be talking about this because I have no clarity around the subject, aside
We
from
can
I know
teach you
they're
about
connected.
products, but everything else, just you gotta Google it.
It's like I can only stuff so much
We just
information in my
say
brain.
things. We just put things out there and then
But it
depends.
is true. There's a connection to it.
Yeah, and I think
Uh-huh.
that's the thing. Like, I love Janice turned 40 this month,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, welcome to your 40s, my friend, because we've been friends since we were in our 20s. And I was just like, I really like my 40s because it feels like, God, I wish I had this brain back with the old body, right? Like the 20 something
Mhm.
year old body. But like
Or the energy. Girl, I mean, the energy.
clubbing and things were higher. and I was like, it feels good to kind of like start. It's like just settle. It almost feels like it's taken this long to settle in to my body and the world and all the things around it. And so
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, to the point that we could talk about our cycles and ask who's next week. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's all interesting, but I our whole Um, Galisma says, my favorite part of this is that Jacqueline and Mina laughing at each other's stories. Does anyone else laugh?
God, I hope we're not the only people laughing with each other. Hopefully you are laughing too.
Do any of you else, does anyone else here think we're funny?
I know, right? It's like
Question.
It's like a comedy show, but only two people
Only
are
we're
laughing.
laughing.
Yeah. Okay, but there was something that I wanted to talk about because I think that for
You
a lot
wanted
of
to talk about.
am I echoing you all?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. That was an old message. Just got it. 20 minutes later. Jennifer's like,
Truly, we need a producer in our houses.
yeah.
Somebody please help us. You put it in our tasks of what we were going to talk about. Okay, the
Yeah.
only person, okay, a couple people have said we crack them up. Okay, good.
Okay, good.
Not everybody, just
Yeah,
two.
we're not for everybody. Just like, your products, everybody are not for everybody, and that's okay too, right? So for those of you that hear us laugh or hear us speak or hear us teach, sometimes it clicks in your brain in a different way because you hear it in that way. You hear it with laughing, you hear it with having fun. You have those business conversations because of the way we say it. I was saying this to the MSM students that we have multi-stream machine. I went live in there yesterday, and I was talking about how, we interviewed Amy Porterfield, who has been our role model for so long. And there's sometimes where I'll hear stuff in the wild and it's just like, it just doesn't seep into my brain, like living my life. But if I hear Amy say it, because I have respect for her, she's kind of like my mental coach in various ways for business. And it clicks because of how she says it or the way she says it or even the tone of her voice or the way she laughs about certain things or whatever it is. Just like she's not laughing as much as we are, but like I'm just saying that for us, it might be that is what it takes. Because I think that in this life, the thing I wanted to talk about was something came up yesterday that I thought was super interesting. I'm glad you're here, Terry Ann, because you were there too. And it was that somebody was saying how they're constantly waiting until they're ready to do something. They
Does
have
anyone
it
else feel like that? I have
like,
to wait until I'm ready.
yeah, they have this loop in their head that they need to wait till they're ready. And Terry said something to the effect of, you have to actually take the leap of faith and the door will open. And that's what clicked for her, with somebody in the community saying that. And then she, it was great, And so I was like, I think that that's where a lot of us get stuck, is that we're waiting to be ready for something. So I wanted to empower all of you in our conversation today of not waiting until you're ready. You're never going to be ready for whatever you think that you need to be ready for. And, really, empowering yourself to take positive action forward. Because a lot of times we hold ourselves back because I'm not ready, or I'm going to wait till this, or I'm going to wait till that. I'm going to start this business then, or I'm going to, invest in myself then, or I'm going to, I gave the example of, I'm going to wear that dress when I have something fancy to go to, or I'm going to burn candles when there's a special occasion. I know that sounds crazy, but my mother-in-law is very much that way. She will not burn candles unless it's very specific to when she's ready to burn a candle. Like there's people over, or the house, she just fried some fish or something, and I'm just lighting candles like it's my job, because I enjoy them.
Yeah. Okay. So I think Angelique says it, unless it's someone else, but they say ready is a lie.
Yeah.
Right. Ready is a lie. So here's a test I want to give you all. And now there's a lot of you watching. So please, I want a lot of comments on here. What is something that you did, that something that happened before you were ready for it? Like, what is something that, like, an instance in your life that you weren't ready, you didn't plan for it, but it happened and you moved forward. So Rachel says about like having children. I agree. Like I was 31 when I had my first child, and in my head I wanted to be really focused on my career, and I wasn't ready to slow down, and I wasn't ready to have a kid and all this stuff. And then I ended up getting pregnant without planning on getting pregnant. And it was like a big thing. Like I was like, holy moly. Because if I let my brain get me to the point of being ready, I would have never actually done it, but then I got married, I had a kid, and then or I got pregnant and I was like, "Oh, this is it." And then, my second one we planned. But I would have told you I wasn't ready, and even when I found out I was pregnant, I wasn't ready. Um, but you just adapt to it. And then you and I, Mina, became really successful in our late 30s with 2-year-olds.
Uh-huh.
So like there's that. So a lot of people are like buying a house, just went for it, buying a second storefront, job interview
Mhm.
rejection, being successful on Amazon. I also bought my mom a really nice bag. I was in Italy in the fall and I bought her an Yves Saint Laurent bag. I like really wanted to treat her to something and it's cheaper in Italy, obviously. And I bought it for her. And my mom has some nice bags, but she keeps them in her closet and she takes them when she goes out for a nice dinner or goes to a wedding. So when I gave her this bag in particular, I was like, Mom, I want this to be your everyday bag. Like, this does not have to, I know this is a little bit different, but I was like, this does not have to be an on the shelf for when you're, when it feels right. Like, just use it. And she does, she
Yeah.
uses it all the time. And it's like, she gets to enjoy it. So, Margie, yeah, we can see your comments. So what are some of the things that you were not necessarily planned or prepared for and you weren't ready, but it happened and you survived it and you're good?
Yeah. And not only survived it, I think that one of the things I want to encourage you to do is, life truly is short. So Jacqueline and I are doing like alignment coaching of sorts. This is my timeline that I wrote. She's having us do a timeline of our lives and made me think, wow, life is so short. Like, even it makes me want to cry when I look at my oldest daughter, even like, where did the time go? Like, believe them when they say that time flies with your children, because it's so absolutely true. And so then I'm just really, in that mode of really thinking, like I was saying to the MSM group yesterday, the multi-stream machine students, I was saying there's this saying about living your life on your back foot. That means that you are just waiting for things to happen, right? That you're just like, ooh, I'm going to wait until I'm ready, because you're walking, but you're living your life on your back foot. What we want for you is to live your life front foot, right? Front foot, one step in the other, building the clarity, because if you're always waiting on your back foot until you're ready, you'll live your life like that and you'll make your decisions like that. And that's no fun, because when I'm living my life and I'm feeling like, oh, okay, I'm going to take positive action, and I might feel scared, or I might feel like things are risky, or I might feel a certain way, but I know that I can plan a vision board day. I know that feel a lot better in things if I get out my numbers and I see, okay, I can kind of take control of what the plan is going to be, or I'm like, oh, I really want to, I'm just going to give an example. I'm going to invest in this course. Well, what would I do if I felt like I needed to feel better in doing that decision? I would get out my numbers and I would be like, oh, I know I need to make $200 extra a month to pay for the payment plan. Oh, I'm going to cancel these subscriptions that I'm doing right now. Few meditation ones that I've been trying out, talking about that credit card thing. I've submitted my credit card a few times for things that I've forgotten about. So as you can see, it just starts to give you the knowledge and the empowerment to be like, okay, I'm actually not living my life on my back foot. I'm taking the actions that I need to kind of take control of being like the lead in my life. I am the leading lady of my life. That was in another movie. Oh my God, it's my favorite movie, The Holiday.
Oh,
And
is that what she said in it? I
it
didn't,
is,
yes.
well, they're at dinner and he tells
Yes.
Kate Winslet that, be the leading lady of your life. You're a leading lady, not a support lady or whatever. Anyways,
Yeah.
I think about that. I'm just like, there's so many people that perhaps feel like they're never going to be ready, but this is your life, my friends. And you have those little choices and chances in every single day to do things a little bit differently, or do things the way that you do them. And I truly believe that action begets action. So, for example, when you start taking action, you can move forward and there'll be another action that you can take, and another action, another action. It can be very little micro actions. And then you get around other people that are like, hey, you're doing a great job. And you find the community, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm on the right track. And I think that really is like what makes life beautiful in a lot of ways. So for all of you that are thinking about you need to be ready, I mean, I think that that's such a big myth in life that you just end up wasting your life in a lot of ways till you're ready, because it's just such a big lie for you to buy into, you know?
Yeah, it's an excuse, right?
Yeah.
Like, I need to be ready is an excuse. Now, because here's the deal, there's life will throw things at us,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Oh, for
they
sure.
they they say, like, you make plans and God laughs at them.
Hmm.
Like, no, like, I remember Sarah Wagner of Heartland Lettering. She's one of our very first multi-stream machine students, so we've known her for a really long time, and she was planning, so how many of you have a full-time job? Um, you have a full-time job and your product-based business is your side hustle. Maybe you're at work right now listening to us. You shouldn't be, but now you should be. Right. So she was working. She had her Etsy shop. She jumped into multi-stream machines. She figured out her best sellers. She started selling. I think she got on Amazon. Um, and she was starting to build her business. Now, she was also a full-time physical therapist with a young kid, and she was working on leaving her job. So in her head, it was like, I need to get my business to X point to be ready to leave my physical therapy job. And now people who are in physical therapy, like, they've gone to school, they've studied, they have their masters, they've invested in their education. And then, something happens and it changes, right? Something just happens. So with her, this was pre-pandemic actually. And so she was trying to plan to leave being a physical therapist and go into being full-time product boss. And she had this whole plan: when I make X amount of money, when I get the business to this point. Now, remember though, she jumped into multi-stream machine before she was ready to leave because she wanted the tools to figure out, like, what do I need to do to get there? But here's what happened like 2 months later. She got laid off.
Yeah.
So she was not ready to leave her full-time job. In her brain, she was planning to be ready to leave her full-time job. And who knows how long that can would have been kicked down the road, but she got laid off. So Reddy's alive because she did it. And then like a month later was generating like $12,000 a month.
Yeah.
Right. So she just had the energy then, like the world threw something at her, the universe threw something at her. And then she just had to figure it out. I think a lot of us dealt with that during the pandemic. Like, my husband's a Broadway actor, and Broadway shut down the day of of the NBA closing down. And Product Boss was still a small business. Product Boss wasn't necessarily supporting Mina and my family, right? Like, we have our other businesses and that was doing it. And I remember thinking, like, it got shut down and I was like, I need to make X amount. Well, before I was thinking, okay, my husband has
Hmm.
this contract. I need to get the businesses to this point to make enough money to support us as a family if and when he doesn't work as an actor. But then it got shut down and I was like, what do we do now? And Mina and I in that year hit our first $1 million by October of 2020, which
Hmm.
was
But
bonkers.
I want to take it back a little bit. So,
Yeah.
for example, I want to show this. So, Jalicia says, I took action immediately after signing up for MSM, and I've made one sale per day since then. Previously, I was making like one sale every 2 weeks, if that. Thank you for that,
Jaleesa,
sis.
didn't she just
Yeah, she
didn't
just
she just
signed
sign
up
up
last
last
week.
week?
So I want to give that example because, okay, while it may be the pandemic, you get laid off, or whatever ends up being that the universe throws at you, we know life gets, sometimes you're not ready and it will throw stuff at you. But so Jacqueline, for example, had written down how much
Just
money
gonna
she
leave this
needs to
up for a
earn.
second because
Same
this
with
is amazing.
Jalicia. She could write down how much money she wants to earn if she's at a full-time job or whatever she needs to replace. Now, here's the next step. You do the math on what that looks like. So, for example, Jalicia said, I'm making one sale per day. So it might be that, okay, like
And she
service-based
signed
people.
up less than 7 days ago,
Yeah.
6
So
days ago.
service-based people might be like, oh, I need to make 4 clients a month, and then I can make this up. Well, as product bosses, what do? You say, okay, I'm going to do the math. I need to make one sale per day or whatever it ends up being, or 7 sales per week, at my average, however many average cart value. Okay. However, the estimate of what your average order value is. And so for all of you, then it starts to empower you, right? Because now Jalecia is like, ooh, I know if I want to leave my full-time job, or if I want to make this amount of money that I said I wanted to make, to take control of me taking action, because action begets action, I know that I need to make 7 sales per week. Boom. That's what my goal is every single week. I'm going to make that happen. So then I end up making around 28 to 30 sales per month, right? And so for all of you, doing that feels better, right? It feels like you have control of that, instead of being like, I'm just hoping and praying that I make some sales. And then it gets to the point where I was saying this yesterday, if you ask for vagueness, you get vagueness. If you ask for specifics and actually work on that, 1 sale per day, 7 sales per week, then you will get a different result. So Jalecia was saying she was making about 1 sale every 2 weeks, right? Because she wasn't taking the actions and really planning for what needed to be done. So this is amazing. I love, love, love that you're getting these results, and I'm super proud of you for taking action. So bravo, my friend.
Minna, I'm going to do a quick screen grab. Will you do this for me? Do the
Okay.
pointing finger.
Is
Okay, ready?
it pointing to it? I
Yeah.
feel like my camera's reversed.
Then do yours the other way.
Other hand. I was like, how do I
Yes,
reverse
perfect.
my hand?
Okay.
Okay.
That's how you grab content, my friends.
I have to tell you all a funny story. So my husband, you know how you can take tests and it shows you what your strengths and weaknesses are. So mine are big concept things, but my brain does not know details like how a machine works. So for example, me thinking, how do I point my finger is literally how a machine works, right? So I bought this mirror the other day at Home Goods, and I was like, but it was a giant mirror, but it was for in front of a fireplace, right? But I wanted it so it wasn't like this hinged, right? Because it was like, imagine 3 together and one big one and then 2 side ones. And I was like, I know, I'll flip the hinges to make it go the other way, so then I can use it on my vanity. So I buy this really heavy mirror. I come home, I'm like, babe, look what I got. Can you change these hinges to go this way instead? And he's like, no, think about it. It doesn't work that way. You would have to flip these things. And I was like, what in the world? Like, my brain could not even function. And he's like, plus these are welded on. It doesn't the hinge does not go this way. So that's just to show you, everybody has their strengths and weaknesses.
I think that Minna is one of the smartest people I know. I'm not kidding. And then there are times that you're just like, what? So but that's okay. So exactly what Minna's saying is if you know your strengths and weaknesses, and you know the things that we're like, okay, Minna's not going to be the one to change our tire if we get a flat. So fine. Hold on. So thank you, Galicia, for sharing that, because it's got some other people saying stuff. So one, Galicia said, getting over the fear of losing the security of a full-time job is a big stumbling block for me. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine, right? Like, we all know, here's the thing. We've all had sudden things happen in our lives and it kicks us down. But if we could get back up from it, when we all can get back up. So know that we can survive anything. Okay.
Oh yeah. And I'm not saying like quit your job now. I'm saying you can create a plan that is getting your ducks in a row so you will eventually leave that job. So it's not like take that crazy leap of faith right now if that's the risk that you don't want to take. It is, let's empower you with knowledge of how you're going to do that. So it feels like the action will lead to a result versus just putting it out there and not really having a plan, because yes, the security of that. And I know that because I retired my husband, right? He doesn't like me using that word. But he was a full-time pharmacist, retail pharmacist.
He's now a full-time product boss. He
is now a full-time product boss. That's right.
He's exactly what we said.
A full list of requirements of him feeling secure and safe, being very responsible, being all the things, in order for him to leave that full-time pharmacy job. One of them is that we maintain his pharmacy license, so with continued education. So those are just examples of what I'm trying to do is have you take action and clarity action, because the world will throw things at you, just like it did for Sarah Wagner of Heartland Lettering. And she was prepared because she had already put her ducks in a row,
And she had our community to fall back on. She had the multi-stream Machine Community. She had Multi-Stream Machine, which was like a toolkit, right? Like it's a thing that you could go to and learn from. So what are you doing as like it's your insurance, right? Like it's what are you doing when we say ready is a lie, or like, people feel like they have to be ready to do something. I know we are going to get when we open up the doors to Multi-Stream Machine, people are going to say literally one of the things we're going to hear from a lot of people is going to be, I'm not ready to join Multi-Stream Machine because I
100%.
my money, I need to make enough money to be there. I need, I'm not ready to leave my full-time job. I need to know what my best seller is. Like there's going to be so much mindset junk that comes up as to why you're not ready to invest in yourself.
And you back
Why
it
you're
up
not.
with the action though. So it's not just like putting it out in the universe like, "Oh, I bought multi-stream machine and via osmosis, this is going to make me some money." No, no, my friend. It is going to give you and equip you the tools, the confidence, you switch in the brain that, "Oh, I don't have to be ready. I will be ready because clarity comes from me taking these steps forward. And then I'm going to take the actions because now I've supported myself in the knowledge and empowered myself with encouragement of a community to take those actions," right? It takes both.
Yeah. So, for example, I'll just give like a really quick example to this is let's say we go on a hike. I did this actually. I was in the sequoias. I went with some girlfriends. We went for
Uh-huh.
a hike in the sequoias where there's bears. There's actual bears. You're supposed to bring
Uh-huh.
like a bear spray, a bear bell, all these things. 20 something year old us, not prepared. Not even with a map. So we go hiking into the sequoias and we're hiking, hiking, hiking. And eventually there's less and less people.
Was this
And we
when there
actually,
was even GPS too, or on your phones?
I don't think our phones worked in the woods where we
Yeah.
were.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is a time of flip phones.
Maybe the time of Blackberry.
I'm serious.
Yeah. So we're hiking and we actually do run into a bear where like all of us are like, oh my God, there's a bear. And we like duck down. And then like I was like 20 feet from this bear. And then, we back up and then we end up running out of the woods. It took us an hour and a half to get in. It took us 20 minutes to get out. I know you're not supposed to run from a bear, but it was what it was. So when we get out, I'm like, there's a map. There was a physical map, like one of those boards. And I was like, I should have taken a picture of the map on the board and then I would have had it on my phone. So it was enough that there was a camera on my phone.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then we also said we probably should have written in our windshield like 3 girls hiked into the woods by themselves in the sequoias, right? So many things we could have prepared for before we walked into the woods. So here's the analogy for all of you, okay? We're not ready. We're not ready to run into a bear. I mean, we could be if we plan and we get it all planned out right, but sometimes things just happen and you're not prepared for whatever's about to like unravel in front of you, right? Like running into a bear. But what I think about multi-stream machine is like if multi-stream machine was my bear bell, my bear whistle, it was the map, right? It had a
Mhm.
compass, perhaps it had extra
And really
GPS.
2 really fun, amazing tour guides for the
And my
sequoias.
friends didn't rely on me to get them out of the woods, but rather they could get me out of the woods.
Those are like your guides, you know? That's us,
Yeah, they
obviously.
they were
Yeah.
like they understood bears in the woods and they like it wasn't
Yeah.
just, and so that's what I think like if you think about MSM or multi-issue machine or when those of you that are not in it that you have the opportunity to come join us, I think it's thinking about that. It's almost like it's not an insurance policy, but it's your toolkit, it's your roadmap, it's your
Yeah.
guide. It's the thing that like you don't have to go into the woods by yourself, that you have the tools with you that you're ready and prepared for
It's
whatever's
the
going to come.
plan. So for
Yeah.
like a lot of people, life will happen and they're just like, I don't know what's going to happen. And you react in different ways and you respond in different ways. But imagine if and the thing is when things like that happen, if you sit down and you're just like, okay, I acknowledge that life is hard right now, or whatever happened, let's say, and that, oh, what am I going to do? And you feel scared and all these things, your body responds in different ways. You sit down and you're like, okay, what is the plan? Imagine the relief of that, right? That's literally what it is. Because when the pandemic hit, and that story that she was talking about, that her husband was shut down, Broadway shut down, she freaked out, of course, like most humans do always,
I
and
got
then
out the whiteboard and I
yeah.
started writing
Well,
things
yeah.
down.
Second
Yeah.
step was that she got out the whiteboard and she's like, okay, what is the plan? Let's take hold of the situation. We're aware of the situation now. What can we do? Because we need to still put one foot in front of the other. And no matter if you have a plan or not, believe it, friends, that you will have to put one foot in front of the other. And it's whether or
Yeah.
not you're living on your back foot or you're living on your front foot, you know?
Yeah. You have the bear bell, or do you not have the bear? Like, do you have the bear spray or no bear spray, right? Are you prepared or are you not prepared? Because life's going to happen. So when
Yes.
we have the reasons as to like why we're not going to join, I want you to also think about like, where are you spending your time? Where are you spending your money? Some people might be like, I don't have time to do this, but how long have you spent with us right now on this live? Right?
Mhm.
About an hour. Or how long do you scroll and lose your time on social media? Or how much time gets like Netflix gets from you?
Yeah,
Or
even Netflix, like, cancel your Netflix and binge on MSM. I know that sounds crazy, especially since I love TV, but there was a period of time where I was hustling hard and and also very limited time because my kids were young that I didn't watch Netflix. You know, I remember like just not watching Netflix. I took courses, I learned about Amazon, I really dove in. I focused on my business and my kids. And I remember Grace and Frankie being the first series that I watched in probably years, you know, where I was like, oh, okay, now I actually have a little bit of time and I'm going to jump into this series, you know?
that was the one
And
you chose. I
yeah,
love the
yeah,
show, but yeah.
yeah.
No, so I think and so that's the thing I think for all of you is like, I want us to let go of ready. Like if you need to say ready is a lie, let's give Angelie that credit. And then, I think and I want to just read a few of the things that people are writing here in the comments because it's just incredible. I love when you all kind of share and it comes out of nowhere. So we shared with Galicia on like she joined 6 days ago and she's had a sale every single day since, and before she's got a sale every 2 weeks. Margie, who's been in multi-stream machine for a while, has said, I had a goal to beat last year's 2021 sales on Etsy and I tripled it in 2022.
Amazing. And I believe
Um,
Margie's an artist, you know?
mm.
So for
And
those of
then
you that think that it's not for you because you're an artist, that's not true.
Samantha says, I maxed out my credit card to sign up for multi-stream machine last November, and I ended up making that money back that weekend at a show because of what I implemented. Now I tripled my sales from last year.
That's
Samantha.
amazing.
So, that was a scary thing, right? It was like putting this investment on her card, but she took action, right? It wasn't like when I'm ready, when I have enough money. Because Annika had said this like maybe a year ago, who is like, if you say you can't afford multi-stream machine, you're the one who needs it most because we want investments into yourself to feel, oh, Instagram just ended.
Oh, is there a time limit on Instagram?
Did they go back to time limits?
Good grief, Instagram.
Oh, Instagram.
Yes.
I
So they
mean,
probably did. So we got kicked off of Instagram. So
yeah, because
um
it's been an hour.
it's like they I don't know. They love to change up things at Instagram. It drives me
Yeah, they're
bonkers.
really annoying. I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna I'm gonna share it, Jennifer, and then if we can edit it. Anyways, so back to here. So yeah, I think that's something. And then I want to share another person. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. Terry says, while listening to MSM back in September, I was on the fence about joining, but with everything that was being said, I knew that it was now or never for me. I was holding my credit card so tight, I bent it, but I knew that the product class was about product business owners. It was great. Unlearning and learning for me. All I can say once again is take the leap of faith, right? These are just people. We're not like, none of these people are paid. They just pop out.
Well, Terry Ann was the one yesterday that I said that she said these very words: take the leap of faith, and those closed doors will open for you. Believe bigger for yourself. And that's really what prompted somebody else. And they heard that and they were like, ooh, that's what made me, it clicked for me at that time. And so I love that because, you know, sometimes it just needs to click for you that you understand, ready really is a lie, and that you, my friend, are the one that has control over your own life and what you do.
Yeah, and then this Facebook user said, I was hesitant to sign up last week because we actually did open the doors really briefly last week for our friends that were in the workshops. And I was hesitant to sign up because of finances, but I decided to just go for it. I'm glad I did. I'm learning so much and hope to see growth in my business. I don't feel as lost anymore. So that's the idea. Like, imagine me in
Yeah.
the woods with my silly 20-something-year-old girlfriends feeling lost. And like, I don't want you to feel that way. let Mina and I, again, I don't know that you want to go into the woods with us, but we will walk you through
Mm-mm.
business and
Yeah.
like, let us be your guides. Let the community be there for you. Have the tools in your tool belt. Like be prepared for whatever life's going to throw at you. And that's the thing that we're seeing so many people, the people who take action and go into it and implement are the ones that are really, I mean, really like changing their lives. And it's just so, so impressive. So we're really proud of all of you.
Yeah, so proud of all of you. Okay, so to wrap up, make sure that all of you that are not signed up, that you go to theproductboss.com/best to sign up for the workshops. You will get all three
And
of
the
them.
challenge.
And the challenge, that's right. So you get a courtesy access to the challenge. You do not need to do anything more. And then make sure that you show up tomorrow. If you can't show up, put one earbud in, sneak it in. And if you can't do that, then make sure you watch the replay. And it's going to be an amazing, amazing time. When you sign up, you'll also get the option to sign up for VIP, which is where you will be able to access myself and Jacqueline to ask us questions, along with other goodies like a trends and predictions PDF, as well as some like templates and that sort of thing. So make sure that you upgrade yourself, because that is the best way to actually get to be in a Zoom room with myself and Jacqueline. And it is worth its weight in gold of you upgrading yourself. So make sure you do that. That is once you sign up. And if you didn't do that already and you're in the workshops, that's at, is there a website to that?
It's the
Yeah. Slash
productboss.com/VIP. It's the
VIP. Yeah. Okay.
productboss.com/VIP. If you want to sign up for VIP, you're already in
Yeah.
the workshops and challenge. So yeah, so this was a good one. We weren't ready in a lot of ways and we still made it through. But we'll see you all tomorrow inside of the workshop. It's our final one. Make sure, I mean, you're watching on Facebook, but make sure you're in the pop-up group. That's where the
Uh-huh.
giveaways are happening. Come join us in the VIP experience. Book your Boston Tines week with us, right? Like
Hmm.
let's like celebrate that together. And really excited. So we'll see you all inside of the Facebook group.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in there.